Citizen Kane, but even critics have claimed that it was shit in its day. Some films are shit and shit they will stay, but some get better over time because of Nicolas Cage. So which film stays shit forever? And which one's got a little bit better? Second chance movies. No poor bloods were harmed in the making of this podcast.
Welcome to Second Chance Movies, the podcast where we rewatch movies and decide if they deserve a second chance.
I'm Joe Harper, your host who loves rewatching movies and thinks everyone should get a participation trophy.
And I'm Jessica Quaz, your host who's a one and done kind of movie viewer who got many participation trophies as a child. And you know what? I was a very unathletic, uncoordinated child, and those trophies made me feel good. Okay, so lay off that. Okay, sometimes a kid needs a little boost. Okay,
Sure.
boomers, calm down. And we're talking about awards and participation trophies because we are busting into your feed to give you a bonus episode about the Oscars, the award season, 2022 Oscar predictions, winner, what's going on here? If you watched our holiday bonus episode, it's kind of going to be like that, just like a loosey-goosey conversation about like, what the hell is the Academy doing? Who's gonna win? Who do we want to win? All that fun award shit.
Have we seen the movies? Do we want to see the movies? For those of you who only get the audio, I dressed up for the occasion. Jessica forgot.
I did not, but I am wearing gold eyeshadow and I'm wearing a yellow gold hoodie that says "Get Better Idols" because I think we all should.
Okay. Who is your film industry idol?
This is hard.
Okay.
Because there's a few. I think Catherine Bigelow,
Okay.
Ava DuVernay,
Okay.
Jessica Chastain.
Yeah,
We'll get into her.
That's
We'll get
when I
into
was
her.
like, I think it's coming.
And that's kind of it, sort of, because like, I don't know, the last few years has made me realize idolizing people could lead to bad shit.
Sure.
You know? No one's immune to being a human. No one's perfect. You know what I'm saying? And like, I think we kind of learned that recently with Jane Campion.
All right. How do you want to start this off, Jessica?
So, I think we should let's just talk about
Here's how I'd like to start. Since
okay, yeah.
You don't have a starting spot.
I could go anywhere, you know?
Because I think we mainly should just talk about, I feel like the top 6 categories, maybe 1 or 2 more. But definitely our best picture, director, and our 4 acting categories. Are there any out of our best picture winners or nominees? Sorry, out of our best picture nominees. Sorry, let me take this back a third time. Out of the 10 best picture nominees, how many of them have you seen?
So, okay, I'm looking at it now. I've seen 3.
Which ones?
I have seen West Side Story. I saw that recently.
Okay.
That was hard. I'll get into that. The Power of the Dog, Nightmare Alley. I plan to see Drive My Car because that's now on HBO Max. And I've heard great things about it. Coda, I really want to see, and that is on Apple TV Plus, which I don't have, so I might do like a free, subscription. I plan to watch all of these like before, or as many as I can, and want to, before the awards. I like to do that. But this one, it's been weird because I think with just like the industry changing distribution in terms of like streaming and like COVID and like theater, all that, some of these are a lot harder to view than actually like last year, where like a lot of them were really accessible.
I think that's one thing about the Oscars being set in March is not everything gets released to us and available for like the general public to watch. because like not all of us were able to go to theaters safely, or had access to one, or just didn't have the correct streaming service to watch a specific movie that was only available through one platform. I have seen two and a half of these movies.
Okay.
Yeah. I have seen Don't Look Up, I have seen Dune, and I have seen half of Power of the Dog, just because I'd stayed up late and I was just like, I can't finish this now. I'm sleepy.
Yeah. So the only movie that we've both seen is I've seen all of Power of the Dog. You've seen half of it.
Yeah, yeah.
So that works out. Do you want to just let's just list them all off. We haven't done that quite yet. So
Sure.
the nominees for Best Picture are Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. Are there any of these that surprise you, that you are like, oh, that's cool that this is nominated, wasn't expecting that? Because I have a few of those.
That surprises me that they're a nominee.
Yeah.
I mean, Dune surprises me just for the sheer fact that it's a like sci-fi adventure based off of beloved classic book. So that's, to me, is crazy that it's up there. But I also, it seems to me that it's going to be like the Lord of the Rings, where they'd only award it once all of its movies are out, and like, here you go, here's an award.
You did good. Yeah. I think that one surprises me. I think Drive My Car was a really big surprise because it's a foreign language movie. And with the exception of very few, it's rare to see that. And that was, to be honest, that was a movie I had heard nothing about until it was released as a nomination for Best Picture. So that's really interesting.
I mean, I could say that about Drive My Car and Belfast.
Yeah, Belfast too,
and Coda, but
and Coda too. I would say I didn't know. I heard of it. I heard it's good, but didn't really understand like what exactly it was about, or the significance of it until it was nominated for Best Picture. A lot of these though are very, no offense to any of them, run of the mill, like you got your King Richard biopic, you got West Side Story. Yeah.
Steven Spielberg did a musical
That was already up for the Oscar, won Best Picture. I mean, it's just through and through. Yeah. I'm trying to think of another one. I don't know, Licorice Pizza also, I haven't watched it yet, but based on what I know about it, also sort of seems like an interesting Best Picture choice, just because
I feel like Paul Thomas Anderson just gets that nomination every time. They just like him. So.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fine, but
before,
I guess
before we started our recording today, I watched all 10 of these movies trailers. So that's kind of how I'm going to base all of my opinions off the movies I haven't seen of their trailer. Because you know how I love trailers.
We love trailers. I also, while I haven't seen all of these, I have also watched the trailers. So at some point, not all at once like you did. That's dedication.
Out of all these trailers, the trailer that there's two of the trailers sparked the most joy in me when I watch this. Coda, because it hits the heart in the trailer. I'm just like, oh, I just want to watch this.
Yeah.
And then Licorice Pizza, just, it has a vibe that I just dig. Maybe it's because it's playing Bowie's, but all the dialogue that they use, the shots, I'm just like, ooh, this looks so interesting, and I like it.
I don't have the same reaction as for Licorice Pizza, but I do see oh, this seems quirky and fun and cool. But
it's my style.
I would agree that Coda, the trailer already is brings a lot of emotions right away, which is why I really
can't imagine what
they
saved for the movie. I'm sure it's even better.
Right. And yeah, I think that this is a really awesome Best Picture nominee because it's very rare we get a story about the deaf community in a way that's very realistic and
Well, we got it last year with Sound of Metal,
yeah,
but
sorry,
still,
sorry.
before that, I don't think I could name another movie about the deaf community.
I know Children of a Lesser God, which is what Marlene I only know that because I took
Oh,
ASL in high school and they made us watch it.
Yeah, but like, when was that? Like the 80s, though?
The 80s, yeah.
Okay.
And this seems like a different because like Sound of Metal was also incredible
Mhm.
and it had a very specific way of telling a story about the deaf community, which was really well done. And this also seems to have that as well, where it's about a hearing daughter in a family that's all deaf and like what those relationships are like. And she wants to pursue singing, but her family can't hear her sing. Like, oh,
Ugh.
so
Just hearing you
I
talk about it,
know.
just, yeah,
You
I
know
would
what?
vote for this.
I would vote for
I
it
would vote
too,
for
and I haven't even seen
out
it.
of watching all the trailers, Coda gets my vote.
I think as soon as we're done here, I might hop on that free week trial for Apple TV Plus and we'll get into Coda. I think we should handle each category in a two setup. What we think will win versus what we want to win. And sometimes they might overlap. Out of all of these, what is the picture that one you would want to see win and two that you think will actually win?
Ooh, the one besides Coda, because it's just for the heart and stuff. Because I think the only thing going for Coda is like our story and like acting. The thing I think probably should win. No, I don't. Yeah, you know what? The thing I think probably should win is Dune, just because like all the elements they get put together, like, you know, not only like director, actor, just visually, cinematography for this movie. Everything about this movie looks fucking great. Costumes, special effects for it, like it's wild. And this is only like part one of a story. I mean, story wise, I think Dune itself is so beloved by people. It's You already have kind of a built-in audience. I didn't know anything about Dune except like there's a giant worm thing in it. And it's space, you know, it's very Star Warsy esque kind of. So I went in kind of blind. I also got the privilege to watch this movie with Beaty McBeatface.
Our one and only Beaty McBeatface. Shout out
He
to
was
Beaty.
he was visiting the US, and when he arrived, Dune like just released on HBO Max. And then he toured around the US, and then by the time he got back to me in LA, Dune was off of HBO Max. So his vacation was as long as Dune, even longer actually. So
Oh,
uh
so Dune would be the one that you would want to win.
I think so. I
Okay.
just think it's just visually, just it looks good. Um I just there's so many elements that go into making that movie that I think, yeah, it's, yeah.
So then what do you think will actually win?
Well, can I make my can I make my guess off of the IMDb ballot?
You can guess however you need to because we're all it's just a
I
shot in
think
the dark.
what it looks like, I think from just like critics and, you know, the industry itself, they're all leaning towards Power of the Dog. They're really liking it.
You and I have talked about Power of the Dog while not recording and like I totally get what you mean. Like the first half is it's a slow burn of a movie, a slow burn. I the first half watching it was like, whoa, this is fucking gorgeous and beautiful. And I love Kirsten Dunst acting like a woman going through it. and Benedict Cumberbatch just being a fucking dick. So I like, then when I get to the second half, I'm like, oh, this is, and then the end, I'm like, oh. So I think my choice for best picture would be Power of the Dog,
Oh.
because and why I think that way is because westerns are nothing new to Hollywood, obviously, but this type of western where it's focused on societal roles at the time and like what you feel like you need to fulfill and how you need to act and be, is a really interesting angle. Similarly to like Brokeback, you know, Sam Elliott wants to say like that New Zealander lady doesn't know anything about the West, but this is actually based off a book, off of a man who was living in the West, an old book, who was gay in the Old West and knows what's fucking going on and how the Old West, like, you had to fit your role and that was it. Even if you were fucking miserable, too bad, lady, like, get it together. And it's gorgeous and the acting is great, and Kirsten Dunst, I love her, and I love that Jesse Plemons and her are a married couple, and it just like all the pieces I really like. I liked Jane Campion a lot, and then after the Critics' Choice, I have mixed feelings, but that's neither here nor there. So I think, yeah, for me, I want that to win, and I think it will win. However, I will not be mad if Coda wins too, because I think it's such a unique win, and I'm haven't seen it yet, but I'm also sort of pulling for that.
I mean, just looking at all the nominees, there's not one that really stands out to me as like everyone could sit down and enjoy this. I think the only thing I could see that is King Richard or Coda.
West Side Story too. Well,
no, because
okay,
for those who don't care for musicals like myself,
yeah,
it's gonna be really hard to get me to watch that.
So I just want to touch on that real quick because I loved musicals. I loved the original West Side Story. Was super pumped when it was announced that it was going to be like ethnically accurate, because there's a lot of like brown face in the original. Natalie Wood, love her, but
Nice.
And so
I've never seen the original.
I'm not surprised by that at all. But so I was really excited to hear about this and like the process, and what deterred me from watching this is the big elephant in the room, and that's Ansel Yogurt, who is the I can never say his last name right, so I just call him Ansel Yogurt, or
It's fine.
Pretzel Yogurt, whatever. He sucks. The movie, first of all, we gotta say, fucking tanked at the box office. This movie's budget was $100 million. It made back 10 million. It was a bomb.
I mean, I like hearing that. That's fun to me.
A big reason why was that was like that was released in a time when we're still like, I don't think I want to go to the movie theaters, COVID, but also I don't think I want to go see a movie where I have to look at this guy who was essentially allegedly possibly coercing underage girls, because in the movie Maria, his love interest, is underage, and he's like in his like I get like early 20s or over 18. So it's like,
I mean, I don't think that's the reason why people avoided seeing this movie in theaters. That might be a very small percentage of viewers that learned about that, because I haven't heard about that. I think the big things keeping people out of the theaters were, one, COVID, two, it's a movie, it's a remake, so if you've already seen it, there's a 50-50 shot of that viewer wanting to see it again and upgraded or downgraded depending on their opinion of the first one. And then people like me who I'd never seen the first one and I didn't care to.
I think you're right. I think it was a big mixture of things. I think it's just hard to ignore that like the one of the main leads like is a bad dude, and also, but you're right, also COVID, also like the audience for this movie would be, maybe older people who saw the original and like wanted to see it again, or the younger theater crowd who wanted to see it but like I don't need to get to it too soon. It was very recently put on HBO Max and Disney Plus, so I finally watched it. I dragged my feet because I was like, god damn it, I don't want to see pretzel yogurt, like god damn it. But when I did, I realized this movie is beautiful. It is really well done. And the acting is great. And so, yeah, this one is so weird because I really do believe like this West Side Story was supposed to be something great. And while the movie quality is good, like at this time, I don't think it's looked at as something like groundbreaking. I think had all the right pieces been in place, this could have been the shoe-in to win for sure. Because it's, again, Oscars love themselves. They would have loved to be like, we gave it back in the 60s and we're doing it again. Hello.
It doesn't spark any joy in me, so I'll probably never watch it.
That's fine. I love a good movie musical.
But like, I guess it helps if I knew the song. I can't say I don't like all musicals. It's just the majority of musicals that are popular are the ones I'm just not huge fans of. I think I like more of the quirky things, like Little Shop of Horrors. I really like.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Repo the Genetic Opera?
Yeah, it was just okay to me.
Oh, I loved it.
I hear a lot of things about Nightmare Alley, but only from like industry people. I have not heard one person in my life that's like, hey, you should check this movie out.
So I think I talked to you about this. I did watch it.
Oh,
yeah.
No. No.
No,
See?
we texted
Not even
about
you.
It. No, we texted about it because I was like, I was saying that I wasn't a fan,
You're
and
thinking about your other Joe.
I have fucking receipts, bitch. I will pull up the text.
What did you say about this movie?
I was saying that I found it really boring, and then you said, "Oh, Kevin Smith really liked it."
Oh, that's me. That's the person.
You.
Yeah.
So Nightmare Alley.
We didn't go into detail about it then.
No, we didn't.
Because if you were like, nah, and then he was like, yeah, but he likes everything.
He's a very positive guy.
I like that guy.
I don't know. Like, I just felt like Nightmare Alley. I liked the story. I liked the concept, but I think we could have trimmed like there could have been a full hour taken out. Like,
so
it dragged too long.
As someone who just recently watched the trailer, I have no idea what the movie's about. I think that's one of the things. If a trailer doesn't show me like, hey, this movie is about this, I'm out.
I would agree. I mean, I think like a look and a vibe and an aesthetic goes a long way in the trailer, but I need a little substance of like, okay, but like, what's the like a hint of the plot, you know?
But if I'm not like super into like a period piece or super into that like style, if you didn't give me those things, maybe the story will get me in. But if you didn't include it, I'm out. We don't need to talk about Belfast because I don't know anyone that's ever seen it. No one has said one thing about it.
No.
All right. So, what are your thoughts on the Oscars themselves? An awards ceremony that celebrates movies.
So, hold on. I need to adjust because I have thoughts, which is unlike me. But okay, so I used to love the Oscars. Even as a kid, I used to love watching it.
It seemed so fancy,
so
like
cool,
royalty, like these are the best of movies. The thing I love.
Yes, and like this is a celebration of cinema and like totally. In fact, I've only missed 2 Oscars in my entire life. The first one was when we were in Nolans, because that took precedent, and also it was the Green Book year, so I didn't need to watch that.
That was the first Oscars you missed?
Yeah, that was the first one I missed. But you know what? No regrets, because Nola's great, and Green Book won. Ugh. But like they used to mean something to me as like a film fan and like obsessed with film and filmmaking. And at one point it did feel like this is an actual celebration of cinema, and this is, at least the guys was like the best of the best. And I think as the years has gone on, it has not become that. I think it's now openly known that a lot of these wins and nominations are because of campaigns, strategic campaigns. The more money you have to campaign, like the better your choices, or the better your odds of like getting that nomination, getting that win. Harvey Weinstein fucking changed the game in a very negative way for award shows. And I think we're still definitely seeing that. And I think that sucks.
And just award shows.
And just, yeah, that's all he's done negatively. No, but like, he was the one that was
Fuck
like,
that guy.
hey, yeah, all around, fuck
Piece
that
of
guy.
shit.
He was the one that was like, oh, hey, I can actually just like pay my way in to get Goodwill Hunting to win shit. Cool. And we still see the effects of that. And I think that sucks because it's not only on the merits, it's also about the money you have to campaign, to schmooze,
but
all
merits,
that shit.
To me, it's so subjective.
Yes.
It's really hard because and most of the things that get nominated for like best picture, I think, are just not things that they were like a second thought, or like, will we remember this in 5 years or 10 years?
Right.
I don't think anyone's gonna remember. Sorry, Belfast. I'm just gonna keep shitting on you.
But it doesn't mean at the same time that some of these nominees aren't doing incredible work. And then when it comes to the ceremony itself, in recent years, I think within the last 3 to 5 years, it has now become not a celebration of filmmaking and cinema, but more so, how do we get our ratings up? And like, again, I go back to last year with what they did to Chadwick Boseman, all for them to like look good. It was so disgusting. If you don't remember, because I sure fucking do, they changed the whole category rotation, because usually best pictures last, and there was all for decades there was a way to go through the awards, and everyone sort of watching the Oscars knew that, like, okay, best supporting is earlier, and then we go through this, and then it's going to be the actors, actresses, and leads, and then it's going to director, and then best picture, and like that flow makes sense and it's cool. But last year they were like scramble, 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 because they wanted to put best actor last, thinking that Chadwick Boseman was going to win. What was even more disgusting was they also changed the order where the in memoriam showcase goes to be at the end, right before best actor. They do the in memoriam, they speed through it, they're like, yeah, died, yeah, sad, and then Chadwick, and then they like pause on Chadwick, like, oh, Chadwick, and like, yeah, his loss was devastating to a lot of people. I get wanting to highlight him, but it did not feel like that, because then they immediately go into like, okay, best actor announcement.
They had that feeling of like, well, it's gonna be him.
It's gonna be him, and it wasn't. It was Anthony Hopkins, who couldn't even be bothered to hop on a Zoom call and be like, thanks, like because he was like, I was asleep, like I didn't, whatever. And that was gross, because I feel like, rerouted the whole award show to be like, look at us, we are honoring Black Panther himself, we're not so white. But then what was even more gross is that they gave out, for like their like Oscar goodie bags, every attendee got an NFT of Chadwick Boseman as well.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Why?
Shameless.
And I never felt watching it like, yeah, they're celebrating this man that was gone too soon, that like really should have been, it was more like, we're going to give him best actor, and we're going to really like end the show with it, so they like remember that we did that. And it backfired. It was disgusting. Chloe Zhao, female director, winning best picture as well, like didn't really get her moment of like, this is the end, I won, cool. It was just very like, what the fuck are you doing here? And I think that the Oscars is its own worst enemy, in that I think I think truly like there is a lot of obvious ways that they could because I think they need to stop placating to the people that will just never watch, like ever, and focus on what the diehard like cinephiles love movies because they're the ones that are gonna watch. Like they are. Stop trying to appeal to like people who are just not. They don't care anymore. They got more things to worry about.
Yeah, if the Oscars want to pull in more people, um, this may be controversial. It sure was for Kevin Smith, poor guy. Nominate No Way Home for Best Picture.
Well, now they're doing that like um what is it called? Like fan choice?
No, get that the hell out of this.
Get out of here.
No, but like the fact that No Way Home is the reason we go to movies. It is a big spectacle, and spoiler alert, minor spoilers, because I feel like other things that I have going to say are things that have already been leaked out. We get two other Spider-Man from previous movies that were like 20 and like 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Oh man, just bringing them all together and all these other villains were in all the other movies. It is like years of movies just combined into one with a good fresh story, great acting, and just like why is this not looked on as like cinema? Because if anything, this is the movie that defines that year, especially like in a year of COVID. Well, we are all like locked in our homes. That's the movie that brought us out because that's the one we all wanted to see.
Yes.
And we all enjoyed. There's not one person that walked out of that movie thinking, God, that was boring.
The Academy needs to fucking like check itself and stop being so pretentious and like really take into account like these movies that they look down upon and like really consider them to be cinema because cinema is ever evolving.
We definitely should have gotten a Best Picture nominee for Endgame. We should have gotten, and maybe even like an actor. I think even Josh Brolin should have been nominated for Infinity War for Thanos. Like,
Yeah.
holy hell.
I think just open it up to stop being like your archetype of an award movie and really like look at these movies as not just like lesser than, but like, okay, people love them and people are putting a lot of work into them. What like let's appreciate that for being movies because that's what they fucking are. But like, okay, real quick, since we brought up the fan vote, fan favorite, I just want to tell you the top three.
Okay, sure. I'd love to hear the top three.
So the voting is now closed. So, but at the point of this insider article, the first place was Army of the Dead by Zack Snyder.
So that's going to be winning the award?
Possibly, unless more people voted.
Okay.
The second place, as of now, we don't know if this is going to win, but again, at the time of this article, the second place was the Cinderella movie starring Camila Cabello.
Okay.
And the third place was Spider-Man No Way Home.
It sounds, at least with the Cinderella one, it sounds like a lot of people are just trolling the Oscars at this point. Like, what is a movie that is just dumb and we're gonna like flood it with? Because like Army of the Dead was fun, but will we remember it in 10 years? Probably not. But like that was one that had like a fun cast, a fun little adventure story where I was rooting for like everyone. It was a fresh take on an old story.
Yeah.
And I dug it a lot. I think this was their shitty attempt to giving Spider-Man an Oscar, then realizing, oh fuck, people could just we didn't even think that people could troll us, the Oscars.
See, they're so out of touch. So I just want to touch on one more thing about the ceremonies themselves.
Yeah,
because
sure.
this is a big change this year that a lot of people are upset about, including myself. They have taken 8 categories that are going to be cut from the show. Now, there's rumors apparently that ABC, that broadcasts the Oscars, basically said to them, "You need to cut some shit out, or we're not gonna broadcast you." That's fucking stupid to me because there would be other channels or streaming service, anything would take the Oscars. Like, shut the fuck up.
In the time of streaming, why does it matter how long it goes on? Why?
Yeah.
What do you have that like we have to cut it off at 10? So news, like, how about the news? Just you don't play the news that night.
Also, the thing to me is like we've been watching the Oscars for literal decades on decades, and we've known it always goes long. So you're not losing audience members because it's long. You're losing it for like because you've become fucking weird.
And we don't know any of the movies that got nominated. We didn't have any chance to watch any of these movies.
Yeah.
Why would I tune into this? I'm not so I can cheer for Belfast. No.
So they have cut 8 categories. Now, some of these categories people could argue, I don't give a shit, whatever. But to me, like some of them actually really do matter when it comes to the overall craft of filmmaking. And I think that they should be celebrated, such as film editing.
Editing's a big one.
Editing is a huge one.
Yeah, I think to the person that hasn't like studied film, that is just a casual moviegoer, they probably don't realize the amount of like effort and importance editing does, because that can make a movie like speed by, really slow you down with pacing. Holy hell.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the movie is essentially made. Like, yes, there's the shooting and the writing, but like if your editing is not strong, it can really fuck up and damage your movie. So
that can also change like performances entirely.
Yeah, like they're choosing with shots to like it's not just like a quick little like like it's art. It's a craft that needs to be celebrated. Another one that I think are important to celebrate is production design. It's a lot of work to really like sell the environment of the movie. That can also make or break your movie too, if it looks good or if it's cheap. A lot of work goes into that.
Yeah, like Dune. Holy hell, that looks good.
Yeah, like without a good production designer on movies, like
Nightmare Alley, like it has a style.
It has a style, and production design is also incredibly important with your overall like look and feel of the movie, which is important for your environment. Makeup and hairstyling, I love that just because it is an art form, especially when you are getting into particular movies like Eyes of Tammy Faye, going back to that, where like they transformed Chastain and Andrew Garfield in a very believable way. And there's other movies too you can point to where like the makeup, especially like we're not just talking like contour, like eyeshadow, like we're talking like prosthetics and like looks, painting, like it's important, especially if you have a period piece or if you have a movie that's set in a particular space, whether that be like a sci-fi movie or time, like it's important. Original score, while some people might be like, yeah, that's just like the background noise in the movie, whatever. Think about it's not. Think about fucking John Williams Star Wars scores are the thing in the background that like will affect your emotions while you're watching it. Like think about like horror movies where like they build up that score, like you know what I mean? Like scores are so important for like how you feel about a movie, whether or not you realize it or not.
Yeah, I think music is definitely a trigger that will make I guess an actor's performance seem even more, just because like the music is building up and like those tears come out like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I know sometimes the score happens, you're just like, oh fuck, I know it's coming.
Yeah, like a score can like subconsciously really build your emotions to what's going on. Another one cut is sound, which is equally as important. Like the sound design of a movie can again have a huge impact on whether or not your movie's good or not. The other categories that were cut were documentary short film, animated short, and live action short. Now, for me, this is upsetting because yeah, some people are like, I didn't see the shorts, like whatever, who fucking cares? But like these types of movies are really difficult to get funding for, just like to get made in general. This is like the like blood, sweat, and tears type of filmmaking that we get, and I think that should be appreciated too, just like everyone else. Give them their time.
I think what would help is if somehow we had access to watch those. Like, how does anyone come across watching those?
So I'm really lucky because there's actually like a film center that does do like they'll show you like similar like movie. They'll show you all the documentary shorts and you can sit there and watch all of them for like the price of a movie ticket. But that's so rare.
I don't
like,
want that. I want to be able to stream it in my home. Can like be like, hey, Oscars just work with one of the streaming sites.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we got all the shorts right up here.
Yeah. Or put them on your website, Oscars. Like
oh yeah,
showcase them. Like, yeah, put them up there so we know what, like, watch them. Because like, yeah, a lot of them we don't get to see, but like there's some that are so incredible and well done. And again, this is not like big budget filmmaking. This is like rough and gruff sometimes. Fucking appreciate those filmmakers who are doing that, those like thankless short films. Okay, so I'm done talking about the Oscar ceremony itself because I'm just gonna keep being like pissy.
Let's talk about the categories. Let's talk about Best Actor. Who do you want to win and who do you think's gonna win?
Okay, so real quick, the actor in a leading role, the nominees are Javier Bardem for Being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch for The Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom, Will Smith for King Richard, and Denzel Washington for The Tragedy of Macbeth. I want either Benedict Cumberbatch or Andrew Garfield to win. I don't think either will, and I think it's going to go to Will Smith.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll go to Will Smith. I think it'll go to Benedict, but I wouldn't mind if Benedict, Garfield, or Smith won.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, also Will Smith has he ever won an Oscar?
He has not.
All right, so let's keep going with the boys. Best actor in a supporting role.
Let's keep it going with the boys.
The nominees are Syrian Hines for Belfast, Troy Kotsur for Coda, Jesse Plemons for The Power of the Dog, J.K. Simmons for Being the Ricardos, and Cody Smith-McPhee for Power of the Dog. So out of these, Joe, who would you want to win and who do you think will win?
Based off of trailers alone, because I haven't really seen any of these, my vote would go Troy for Coda. It just looks good. He just looks like he's killing it. So I'd give it to him.
I would be happy if Cody Smith-McPhee won. However, I want Troy to win as well, and I think he will. Like, he's been sweeping the awards, but I think what's really interesting is this guy, like, he's been acting for a very long time, but it's always been like in bit roles and like local theater, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like his big breakthrough and first time in like a lead role in a movie, and I think that's rad. And I think just that alone, I'm like, yeah, I want this guy to win because he's like fresh out the gate to us, and like it's his like.
I also would be leaning more towards it because he's never been nominated, and the odds of him being nominated again are probably slim. Like, what other things is he gonna get cast in? We're gonna be like, hell yeah,
yeah.
Hopefully, we see some more stuff. But like Cody Smith-McPhee is one of those young actors that keeps getting cast in things, and I think he's gonna have more chances later. He's probably gonna give us more stuff.
Yeah, I
and
think
Jesse
so.
Plemons, man, I like Jesse a lot.
I like him too a lot.
JK, he got it for Whiplash, and that is one of the most intense performances
Yeah,
ever.
I don't think his performance in being the Ricardos is like anywhere near that. And like he's playing Fred from I Love Lucy. If you were an I Love Lucy stan like I was when I was a kid, like he fits it. He fits the role. Oscar nomination, I don't know. But yeah, I want Troy. I want someone who's different than your typical like Oscar nom, someone who's really put in the work in their career. I want them to just I love an underdog story and I want
And
him to win.
I assume the performance is great.
All right, moving on to the ladies. So, Best Actress in a Leading Role. The nominees are Jessica Chastain, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman for The Lost Daughter, Penelope Cruz, Parallel Mothers, Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos, Kristen Stewart for Spencer. So now I just want to say I've seen all of these movies actually, except for Parallel Mothers.
Oh, I was really shocked because I still don't know what Parallel Mothers is. I haven't seen the trailer. I haven't heard one person mention its name. I know who Penelope Cruz is, but
of course, I hear it's great. Just I can't find it, so I haven't watched it. I will say all of these performances are good. Olivia Colman, always great. Nicole Kidman, surprisingly really good as Lucille Ball. Like everyone was like, what the fuck? She doesn't look like Lucy, but like she actually plays her very well.
I thought it was like, that makes sense.
Yeah, whatever. And again, going back to like families and loved ones who like are cool with biopics, Lucille and Desi Arnaz's daughter was like, I'm all for this movie. I think it's gonna be great. And I think Nicole Kidman's a good choice. So everyone can shut the fuck up. Spencer was a time.
I don't know if that means good or bad. And you throw that phrase around and it's either or sometimes.
So I think Kristen Stewart was like good. I think she was good. She was good. But the movie itself was more like a horror movie than like a biopic, or like, you know how it's the same guy that directed Jackie, which follows Jackie O like in the days after JFK was shot, and it just follows her around and it's really intense. So I thought it was going to be kind of like that with Princess Di. No, it is like they made it into like a horror movie sort of. Like it's weird. It's a weird vibe. And I know a lot of people are pulling for Kristen Stewart and want her to win. And yeah, she was good. So this is hard for me to choose because the one I want is very clearly Jessica Chastain. Of course, I think she's wonderful. She's been wonderful. Don't mess with me. Do not mess with me.
Okay.
And I think she's really doing something very different in this. I think she does have a good chance of actually winning because she's won a lot of the other awards leading up to this, and it's sort of an indicator.
Wow.
I want Jessica Chastain. I think who could win is between Kristen Stewart and Jessica Chastain.
I think the race is. I would give it to Chastain, and my hopes are, but from everything I've been reading about the Oscars, it just seems like everyone is just goo goo gaga for Kristen Stewart. Maybe just because they're goo goo gaga for Princess Di.
They love the Oscars, love the royals. Like, talk about American loving a royals.
I don't get it.
Academy Awards, they love those royals. They can't get enough of them.
I don't get it.
I don't either. But she was good. So like I wouldn't necessarily be mad, but like Chastain has deserved Oscars for multiple movies at this point. So let's fucking do it for this one. As much as I'm rooting for my girls, Chastain, if Kristen Stewart won, I wouldn't be mad because it'd be like, okay, girl, I'm sorry I always thought of you as the Twilight girl. Like, you have officially proven, like, not that you needed to, but you've like pretty much given us all a middle finger saying like, yeah, bitch, I've always been able to act. I just needed a paycheck. So yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Is there another category of the Oscars that we could talk about?
Well, I think we got to stick to the ladies and do Best Actress in a Supporting Role. The nominees are Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter, Ariana DeBose for West Side Story, Judi Dench coming in for Belfast, Kirsten Dunst for The Power of the Dog, and Anna Janou Ellis for King Richard. Who I want to win is Kirsten Dunst because this is fucking great. And I think she's doing some very subtle, intense work in Power of the Dog. Like I said, I watched West Side Story recently. I think that Ariana DeBose does a lot of great work in it. So if she wins, I think that would be awesome because she's singing, she's dancing, she's like killing it, and has some very, very dramatic moments that she does well.
Critics might lean towards, or the voters might lean towards Dunst just because of the long career that she's had, not so much so as the performance itself?
So I don't think so, unfortunately, because I think what they're gonna lean towards, and this is no like not taking away anything that Ariana DeBose has like accomplished, but Rita Moreno won for the same role when West Side Story won Best Picture back in the 60s. And I think the Oscars, like they love themselves so much that I think they would lean more towards Ariana DeBose so they can be like, look what we did, another milestone of like the same actress winning another actress,
the same
category. Yeah, like they'll feed
like
into that.
Heath Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix for Jokers.
But she's good. She's fucking good in it. So it's not like I don't think this is like a gimmicky sort of win. I think she's genuinely very good in it. But Kirsten Dunst, I love her. I've loved her for a long time. She's done some really great work. And I think I would like to just say Oscar winner Kirsten Dunst.
It would be nice. It would be cute if her and her husband Jesse Plemons won. I don't think it'll happen.
I don't think so either, but
it would be cute as hell.
He's so cute. They're so cute. I love them. I love that they act together. Put them in every fucking movie together. I love it.
Do you have a favorite Kirsten Dunst performance?
Drop Dead Gorgeous, number one. Okay. Wonderful. So funny. She does like so much because she does some like hilarious work. She's not like appreciated for how like funny she can be. I also think her Drunk History episode where she plays Agatha Christie is fucking hilarious. Jesse Plemons is in that too.
My favorite Kirsten Dunst performance is Fargo. Not a movie,
but yeah.
I just think that's been my favorite thing of hers.
Yes.
And like that showcases so much of her talent.
And that's where her and Jesse met. Yeah. God, she's just given us so much.
Who I want to win would be Kirsten.
Yeah.
Who I think it's according to this ballot on the IMDb, it's almost neck and neck with Kirsten and Ariana. I don't want Judi Dench to win it all.
No, sorry.
Mostly you already won that Oscar for appearing in something for like a second. So,
yeah.
No. So, but you've had a long career. You don't need to let one of the youngins.
And she seems good where she's at. Like, I'm just gonna like act here and there. I don't need.
She's probably not gonna attend. She's like, no, I'm fine.
Too much work.
I haven't seen King Richard, so I can't give a critique on it. That trailer is like, Will Smith is in this. You remember, right? So I don't know. But in Jesse Buckley, again, that's another person from Fargo that I enjoy, but I haven't seen Lost Daughter, and the trailer for Lost Daughter is way more focused on Olivia Colman.
I think Jessie Buckley has been in a lot of things that I really like. I think she's phenomenal. I just don't think like I think she'll have other opportunities because I think she'll still keep killing it. I think
that's the case, yeah.
Yeah. So I know you love your animation. Do you want to talk about animated feature film? We have Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchells versus the Machines, and Raya the Last Dragon. Out of these, I've only seen Encanto. I fucking loved it. I think it's wonderful. I want to see Luca, and Flea seems really interesting.
I have no idea what Flea is.
So I just learned about it recently. It sounds fascinating. So it is in 3 categories this year. It's in Best Animated Feature, Best Documentary, and Best Foreign Film. So what's really cool about this is that it's a documentary about this young boy's escape from, I believe it's Afghanistan, and fleeing and leaving his family behind, but it's all animated. So that sounds incredibly unique, and that makes me really want to see it. Like doc and animated, you don't really see a lot of, so that's pretty cool.
All right, so it's weird because 3 of these are essentially Disney.
So you're the animation guy here. Like I said, I've only seen one of these.
Lord
Um,
Miller, that's what it is.
how many of these movies have you seen?
4 of them.
Okay.
I've seen everything but Flea.
Okay. Which is on Hulu, by the way, so you can watch it for free now if you have Hulu.
I'm gonna say something really embarrassing. I fell asleep during Encanto.
How it wasn't so upbeat.
It wasn't. I don't know. I was laying down. I was just exhausted. I had probably had a tough day. I don't know.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I enjoyed it. So it's one of those ones I had on my rewatch list.
Yeah.
Luca was pretty boring to me.
Okay.
I wasn't the animation style is kind of like meh.
The trailer looked like, oh, this is a cute movie, but like, yeah, it didn't grab me like, oh, I need to see it.
Yeah, it was just like this is nice.
Yeah.
It's not didn't blow me away. There was no like emotional like tolls that like pulled at me. Animation wise, I'd be giving it to Mitchell versus the Machines.
Interesting.
I just think it looks it just looks different. It has a fun story. It also is just sweet. It like pulls at the heartstrings with like the family element of the young girl trying to go to college and go off and doing her own thing, and dad just like wants to like have one last go around with everyone. I really enjoyed Ryan the Last Dragon. It has the elements that I enjoy of like we're getting a crew, we're just bringing like one new person after another, building a big team. It also has that like epic journey of like the warrior. That's the type of movie for me. I think I'd probably the one I like the most is probably Raya.
Okay.
The one I think made me like in the feels the most is Mitchell and the Machines. And Encanto was just okay for me, but then again, I only saw half of it.
Yeah,
I missed a good middle chunk where I'm like, I don't know what happened.
Oh, it's really good. It's really, and the animation's beautiful. But what do you think?
It is really pretty, yeah.
What do you think will win though?
Encanto will probably win.
Okay, before director, I just want to quickly touch on cinematography because I am a sucker for cinematography. I am a visual aesthetic kind of gal.
Okay.
So, best cinematography this year, we have Greg Fraser for Dune, Dan Lawston for Nightmare Alley, Ari Wegner for The Power of the Dog, Bruno Del Bonal for The Tragedy of Macbeth, Kaminsky for West Side Story. I have seen all these except The Tragedy of Macbeth. Like we were saying earlier, it looks fucking cool.
I thought you said you hadn't seen Dune.
Oh yeah, duh. I've not seen
all these.
I haven't seen all these. I've seen 3 of these.
All is very different than
very different.
2/3 of them.
So like what out of what I've seen, I would say Nightmare Alley, like that was more like production design, and that was like the more visually appealing than the cinematography. I think The Power of the Dog cinematography was gorgeous. I think West Side Story also had some very strong cinematography. And while I haven't seen Dune, I think the cinematography is like what sells Dune or really brings it to life. So I think it could be between Dune, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. And past
I
that,
think
like
Tragedy
I don't know.
Macbeth has an element of surprise to it because you might not think because it's black and white, but it looks really good
It
in
does.
black and white.
Yeah.
And it also looks like it's not really like a real like set. It's like parts of things that make it look like a place. So
Yeah.
that would probably be I think the top three would be Macbeth, Power of the Dog, and Dune. Clear sweep in it.
Yeah. I think
Dune just looks so good.
I think it would be like, as much as I think the Power of the Dog looks beautiful, I do think Dune should win it because it just feels like again, just based on the trailer, I haven't seen it yet, just feels like a totally new, like, how do you play with it? It's like a different level of cinematography than some of these.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're on to our last category that we're going to be predicting and talking about. All right, so directing. We have Kenneth Branagh for Belfast, Joe's favorite movie, Ryosuke Hamaguchi for Drive My Car, Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice, Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog, and of course,
newcomer
Steven Spielberg for West Side Story.
What are your thoughts going?
So, I've only seen 2 movies out of this. I've heard a lot of great things about the direction of Drive My Car in Belfast. I've heard a lot of positive things about Licorice Pizza, but what I've heard is more like the script and the acting. No offense to PTA, like, you do wonderful work. I would probably take him out and put in the director of Coda. Hold on.
Or take who out? PTA?
Yeah.
Nah, there's one other person we take out before him.
Spielberg?
Yeah, we get Spielberg out.
I know, but I will say, like, the direction of West Side Story is really great. It is incredible. He did do good work. He did.
Yeah, but so did Denis Villeneuve for fucking
That's
Dune.
true. That's true too.
The fact that he's not up there is insane.
That is true. Yeah, I would. So okay, I'm taking out Licorice Pizza, and I'm putting in Sian Heder for Coda, and then I'm taking out Spielberg while it was good work, and I'm putting in Denis Villeneuve for Dune. Yeah, that's what I would do here. But who am I?
Has Denis been nominated before?
Yeah, he
nominated for 3 Oscars. 2 of which are now Best Motion Picture and then Best Adapted Screenplay. He was nominated for directing for Arrival.
He should have fucking won that.
Oh yeah, he definitely should have won that year. Not Damien Chazelle.
Get out of here with that.
La La Land.
Get out of here with that.
And you know what? We also should have had fucking Amy Adams win for Arrival, not Emma Stone.
Get out of here, La La Land.
Right.
Also, he directed Prisoners.
He sure did.
Oh, that was the first time that was the first movie of his I saw where I was like, whoa, who is this director? And ever since then, it's been like up and up and up in the game. So yeah, he should be in this category.
Rewatch it, and that ending is
with the whistle.
It just sits different. At first, I think the first time you know what, that could be another second chance.
Fuck yeah, I'm down. Even though it's a dark movie, I think that is way too underappreciated for many reasons. For Best Director, for what we have, even though Jane has said some weird things, I want Jane to win.
Okay.
Because I do think she's doing good work here, Power of the Dog. And you know what? Let's have more fucking women win also. But also that too, but like that's not the only reason. Like I do genuinely think that out of these, like she is doing some great work. Who would win is either her or Spielberg.
Okay. I definitely want her to win. I don't think he needs another win.
No, and again, this is great work. Like this is great directing, but like
I feel like he's one of those guys that should be like, hey guys, stop nominating me. like, cause I get it, like him and Scorsese, like all the big, like, hey, I get it. I'm great. I'm the best. Stop. We
Just
don't need
like,
to. I don't need the awards.
Yeah, because it's. I don't
Let
know.
someone like any of the other 4 nominees. I'll vote for Jane for Power of the Dog. I'm always gonna vote for the woman over the men.
Yeah, because it's so rare, guys. just come on.
I'm
give
doing
it, give it and nominate and just watch female movies. It's not hard. There's a lot out there. So yeah, I think we both want Jane, but we think it might be between her and Spielberg. Do you have the IMDb poll situation up?
She's like the clear winner. She's at 34%. And this is more to just the community of IMDb is just
Yeah, I'm just curious what they have to say.
Second place would be the second place is really close between 3. Spielberg 21%, Brenall with 19, PTA at 17, and poor Hamaguchi is at 10%. So again, I think that's a movie that not many people have watched because it's not accessible to everyone.
Well, it's on HBO Max now.
Yeah, but like after everyone voted, like
well, right.
Oh,
too late.
Yeah, fucked up, guys.
Also, it's like 3 hours. I really want to watch it, but like, this a lot of time.
It looked like Driving Miss Daisy, but like reverse. And like,
maybe
like a young girl driving around this guy. The trailer didn't really give me much more than that, so
yeah.
3 hours. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm clocking out at 2 hours for movies now.
But most of them are at 2.5, man. Ugh.
I know. I'm not gonna see how it ends. Nope. I'm stopping.
We're done. Bye.
You know what? Someone else could tell me how it ends. I don't. It's 2 hours. You can edit 40 minutes out.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
Well, I think that's the only categories we really feel like we can talk about. So I think we're done with our Oscar bonus moment.
Cool.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, like what you like, whatever you think is your best movie of the year is what matters more.
I mean, it's clearly Spider-Man No Way Home. It was the best movie of the year.
Well, thank you for listening to our Oscar bonus episode. Let us know what you think. What do you want to win? What do you think will win? Have you seen like any of these movies? Let us know. As always, you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find us on YouTube. Please give us a like, a comment, especially a comment. We want to hear what you think about the Oscars. A review if you like what you're hearing. We'd really appreciate it. You can find us on all the socials. Everything is linked down below in the show notes. A big thank you as always to Beaty McBeatface for our dope theme song. And yeah, we'll be back soon with another Second Chance movie.
Second Chance movie.